Hi and welcome to BRM Driving School. Now today's video, it's not something I normally do, but I've got a little bit of free time at the moment because I've had a cancellation and my car needs a bit of mileage on it because its service is booked in for Monday, so it gives me an excuse to drive around. What I'm going to do today is I'm going to show like an example test route of where you might go on a driving test in Oxford. So currently at the moment I'm parked on James Wolfe Road. The test centre is just on the other side of this van. So I'll take you around like some of the roads and areas you might get on a particular route. The one that I'm going to do is what most people know as the Garsington route. So it will have the very tight hairpin on it and lots of very tight junctions, meeting traffic situations, things like that. So we'll drive through that. This one is a sat-nav route, so I will press the button on my sat-nav when I get to a certain point to get the directions from, well, they use the Serena voice, so get directions from Serena. Alrighty, so I'll pop my seatbelt on, close up that window because I'm going to have the air conditioning on, and I'll drive away when it's safe. So got a few cars coming my way. It's because the next test in Oxford is in just over 10 minutes time, so there are a few learners in the area about to take their test, so wish them the best of luck. Okay, so there you go. So Oxford's test centre is where those yellow cones are, so you would pull out and turn left to go past all these parked vehicles. There is this construction work on at the moment, but after September 19 it will be finished, but I don't know what it's going to be like in terms of parked cars and that. Okay, so end of the road, turn left. So first bit to deal with is the speed bump at the end of the road. So check for pedestrians. If there's no one there, you can pull up onto the crossing. I'm going to first gear, pedestrians just walk around the corner. So there is a cyclist here, there are a couple of cars. This is a hill start, you need to give it the power to get it up and over. So I'll get going after the next car, the gap's big enough. And a lot of power to get it up and over. Okay, so I'm going to take next road on the left. So I'm going to stay behind this cyclist, it will not be worth passing them and then turning. So the safest option is just to stay back. And also, as you go over this speed bump, if you go over it too fast, it likes to throw the car over to the right. So another good reason to slow down as you turn into this into that corner. Okay, so got quite a narrow road here. You usually get quite a lot of parked cars, so just be aware of anything oncoming. I'm going a little bit slower here. I'm going to take the next road on the right. So, just remember always drive into the condition of the road, because the road that I turned onto is a 20-mile-an-hour road, but it would not have been safe to do 20. Okay, at the end of the road, turn left. So parked cars are usually all the way up to the very end on this road, so as soon as you pass that parked car, get over to the left as best as you can. There's usually one parked just here, but they're gone today, so a little bit easier. A little bit restricted on my right, the view, because of parked vehicles. There is a vehicle, but more than enough time to get going and take the next road on the right. So you've got to give way to that oncoming vehicle, because you've got the sign here saying priority over oncoming vehicles, but if I'm turning, I still have to give way. Onto Wilkins Road, and then up ahead I will take the next road on the right. It's just a little bit beyond the lorry that's parked on the right hand side. In fact, actually it's just beyond the van, just behind the van. Okay, so take mirrors, signal right. So I've got the oncoming vehicle, but they're going to be past the junction before I turn in. And then I'm going to pull over in a safe place on the left because I'm going to set up the sat nav. making sure you're parked in a safe, legal, convenient position, because there are a lot of driveways down here. It's very easy to pick up a driver fault for position normal stop when you stop over a driveway. Okay, so at this point here I'm now going to set the sat nav up, so the examiner will just press the button, ask me to follow the directions for about the next 20 minutes or so. So just push the button there and we are ready to go. So quite a long straight road here, so I've had the chance to have a little glance at the sat nav. I can already see I'm going to be turning left, so well ahead of the sat nav. I know what's going to happen before
at the end of the road, turn left.
Yeah. So just keep an eye on that taxi there. They have seen me. Fortunately, it does happen if you're in a learning
turn
car,
left,
where people do pull out in front of you. You could be on your test, so be ready to take action. Okay, so very hard road to see out of. It's a very tight corner to get round as well, so make sure you get your steering on here. Don't want to be running wide. Now as I go down Holloway, usually quite a few parked vehicles on the left hand side. You've got the junctions as well, so make sure if you do stop, you're not going to stop over a junction and block access. But the other bit to be aware of as well is, because there's probably about 3 or 4 cars in front of me, don't do what I like to call follow the leader, where the front car goes and you just straight away follow them because you think it's safe. There's usually a car on the other side when you do that. So anyway, so stopping here, keeping the junction clear as much as possible. Just keep checking around, is there a bicycle, anything like that. So I'm going to stay back here. I'm not going to do follow the leader because I can see there are oncoming vehicles. So if I followed those, the white car and the white van through, would have blocked that car off, probably got a serious fault for it. So that's it. Okay, so pedestrian crossing is gone red.
at the end of the road, turn left.
I was about to say I'll have a quick glance at the sat nav, get the direction, but sat nav's beating me to it. So end of the road, turn left. That'd be at the traffic lights onto Oxford Road. So just keep an eye on that bus because it will take a bit of space, but it's pulling in. Okay, and then just make sure you get your signal timing right. I'll probably say somewhere near this lamppost would be a good idea to signal left. And then I'll pull up behind the white van.
Turn left.
So car in front, not really too sure which lane they wanted, so I'll give them a bit of space because they may not be from around here. That sounded awfully racist, didn't it? They may not be local. I think that sounds a bit more PC. So they may not be local. They may not know which way is which as you drive down the road. So I'll give them plenty of space in case they might decide, oh wait, I did actually want this lane. So yeah, so lights stay red here for a very long time, but when they go green, the lanes are quite narrow. Something you've got to avoid is called swan necking, where if you're turning left, where people steer right before steering left. You really want to avoid that here. And the lights are just beginning to change, so just starting to get myself ready, have a good look around. It looks all clear. Just keep an eye on the lights because sometimes they do change back very quickly, so just keeping my wheel nice and straight and then we'll turn it around the corner. Okay, wait for the next sat nav instruction, which will come up in just a moment.
After 200 yards, cross the roundabout and take the second exit.
Okay, so the left lane on the approach to this roundabout, just checking all my mirrors, going to slow it down to a reasonable speed. There's no
Cross the roundabout and take the second exit.
There's no lane markings on this roundabout, so make sure you leave in space on your right hand side and leave the roundabout. Probably was a bad idea to put the sat nav on whilst doing this. Okay, having a quick glance at the sat nav. So the sat nav is
After 300 yards, cross the roundabout and take the second exit.
I'm going to turn off that sat nav if it keeps up. So the second exit is towards Watlington. So approaching the roundabout, I can see there's 3 lanes. Just going to go a little bit more steady here. So I can see the left lane is a left turn only, so
Cross the roundabout and take the second exit.
I'm going to go with the middle lane. Now, as I record this, the lines on this roundabout are very badly faded, so you have to be very careful with lane positioning. So the light has turned green, but I can't really get onto the roundabout until that bus moves forward, which it is starting to do so now. Okay, so just stay within the lane markings, just be very careful. As I said, they're very faded. They will push you into the left-hand lane. I'm going to leave the roundabout. So I've got a bus. It is a learner bus, but still giving plenty of space. You know, I'm staying probably a little bit further back than usual here, so I can see a bit more around that bus. I can see that there's a big dip going to be coming up. I'm going to go under a bridge. So just keeping a bit more than the 2-second gap currently, just so I get more of a heads up. Okay, so just had a very quick glance at the sat nav saying 500 yards. I will be turning left. So I have a look at the screen and I can see it's not the next turning, which is at the traffic lights. It does happen sometimes where the sat nav will say in 200 or 300 yards turn left. It is not the first turning. Just check around. Okay, so it might say at any moment now.
After 300 yards, turn left.
So not this set of lights. I look at the sat nav screen, I can see it's the second turning. Okay, so I think my light's going to change shortly, and just as I say that, it does. It's one of the things in Oxford, the lights do change very quickly from green to red and red to green. So turning left at the next junction, looking at the sat nav.
Turn left.
There we go. Okay, and then up ahead, national speed limit just before we get to Uni Park, so keep it at 30. But you'd be amazed at how many people do miss that national speed limit sign. You can understand a bit more of the sign on the right because it was a little bit faded, but keeping our eye out on the signs. As I go down here, I've got no street lighting, I've got no signs telling me what the speed limit is, so that's my extra backup. That is the national speed limit, so I can do up to 60 along this road. As I said earlier, you know, drive to the condition of the road. It's a little bit bumpy, a little bit up and down. It's not the widest of roads. You've got the hedge, which does restrict your visibility a little bit on this right-handed bend. Okay, and now I can see there's a change of speed limit up ahead. As I get closer, I can now see it's 30. So just going to slow down into 30. I can also see there's speed bumps up ahead. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change it into 3rd gear. I think that's going to give me a bit more control as I go over the speed bumps through this village. So just making sure I'm staying in the middle of the lane, and then you don't really feel the bumps that way. Okay. And now usually along here, if you have this route, the examiner might say to you, when it is safe to do so, could you pull over onto the right hand side of the road. So I've spotted a good area to stop, just check my mirrors. I was about to give a signal there, but I have seen that car pull out, so I'll just go a little bit further along. But there's still some good areas just a bit further up, so check mirrors, give a right signal. Just going to pull it over, reasonably close with the curb here. Nice and parallel. Okay, at this point here I'm going to reverse the car approximately 2 car lengths. So I've gone into reverse gear, I've seen there's a car in front, best to stay still. But whilst I'm checking around, I can see I look pretty parallel with the curb, so I don't really need to do much, if any, adjustment to the steering wheel. So having a good look around, can see it's safe, start reversing back. Just every now and then, just a quick check around, make sure it's safe. I'll leave it about there. Normally it'd be a little bit further back, but I'll leave it about there. So at this point now, the examiner will say, when you're ready, drive on. So into first gear. I can see there's quite a few cars in front and behind, so I'll start getting the car prepared. By the time I get it prepared and ready, they should be out of the way. And just as I say that, another car pops up from behind. But I think there's a gap after this black car, but it depends what this Mini does in front. Yeah, so they're going to go around me. But it's clear after the Mini and the silver Audi that's going to pass me, so get myself ready to go, have a good look, make sure it's safe. There's enough time before that car up in front. And then back to my side of the road and carry on. Just letting the sat-nav fix itself, because where I'd done the reversing it thought it was going that way, it's trying to tell me to turn around, but it's now fixed itself. Okay, so we're about to climb up a very steep hill at the moment, but we've got a little kink in the road to the left here. Visibility not very good on a narrow road. There's usually parked cars around this bend. I can also see there's a warning sign saying narrow roads further along. So there's those parked cars. I need to take a little bit more steady because I can see there's that van coming. It's now clear. Okay. Along here would be a good spot to do for an examiner to get you to pull over to do your hill start. But I'm going to keep going on this one. So keeping it in the low gears to give it the power up the hill. I've just put it into third gear because I'm just doing over 25 miles an hour, so third gear will handle it at that speed, but you know, if you need more power to get up the hill, use your lower gears. Okay, so coming up and over the hill here, so very poor visibility, just taking it a little bit more steady. I can see triangle sign for more narrow roads. So as I go down the road here, there is a very narrow bit. It's only wide enough for one car, so keep an eye out on any oncoming vehicles, but it's clear on this occasion. Okay, and then we go round this gentle bend to the right. Again, it will be wide enough for one car only, but then I'll be coming up to the hairpin bend. So I will be following it all the way to the left. I will need first gear, but I do not signal for it because it's not a junction. You're following the road to the left. So just check my mirrors. I can see there's a car coming in behind me, so I'm going to get it into first gear around about here near the yellow bit on the curb. So into first gear, just nice and slowly. Lots of steering to get around this one because I've got a vehicle, well, they've got the blue van coming down, but because I had a low enough speed with enough steering, I was able to get around the corner okay. Okay, so school, we've got the flashing lights, could be school kids in the area, so just be cautious through here. This village here, it's got a lot of hills, a lot of blind crests. Parked car up on the right next to a blind crest, so be careful of oncoming vehicles. I have seen one, keeping my eye on it, but they have seen me. Okay, and then as you go around this corner, there will be a warning sign saying narrow road on our side, and we've got speed humps as well. So as I go around the bend here, so I've got the narrow road, I cannot see past that hedge. I'm going to take it a little bit more steady. I've got it down to about 20. Having a good look, I can see it's clear. I'm going to carry on. So now we're going to get into an area with speed humps again, so I'm going to drop it back down into third, give myself a bit more control of the car. Another blind crest. You saw how quickly that car came up and over the top. So we've got the oncoming lorry, vehicle parked on the other side, but I'll be aware I may have to stop even though it's my priority, but it looks like the lorry has stopped, so that's absolutely fine. Thank you. Okay. Now there's a couple more speed bumps to go along this road, and a little bit that does catch some people out. So I think there's one more speed hump left. So we've got this speed hump here, and then we've got this little patch of red tarmac, which some people do confuse as being the change of speed limit, but there was no signs there telling me the speed limit had changed. I've still got street lighting in the area, it is still 30. So just going to carry on at 30. I have activated the cruise control, that will keep me at 30. Perfectly allowed to use cruise control during the driving test. Now I've seen someone in an orange high-vis jacket in the bushes, so I'm just going to be a little bit careful here just in case he steps out. So I've taken off my cruise control. I'm doing this all on my pedals again. Okay, so it's once I pass that sign there I can speed up, so check my mirrors. Now I can go a little bit faster. At the moment we got, I'm not really sure what flower that is, I was never really good at gardening, but we've got flowers on the left, the hedge on the right, visibility not the best. Sometimes this area here on the left, the grass can be very tall, so it can be hard to see around some of these bends. And then we're going to get our next instruction in a second.
After 400 yards, turn left.
You almost forget you're still following the sat-nav because it's been such a long time since sat-nav said anything. So I've got the triangle sign saying junction ahead, so it's where that van is. Just make sure you don't overshoot this corner, it's very easily done where a person comes in too quickly.
Turn left.
So into second gear, clutch is back up, I've got maximum control of the car for this bend. And then we're going to go down the hill towards Horsepath. Over the hill, and it's quite a long hill this one. You can see down below, so you can see there's a fairly, it's a fairly straight road. A few parked cars, so in fact, they're not parked cars; they are moving cars. They look parked from up here, but I can also see there's a 30 limit up ahead, so I'm going downhill, so I've got to be careful with the braking here. Now I can also see there is an obstruction. I've got a chicane. So make sure no oncoming vehicles, but I can see well in advance it is perfectly clear. I'm just going just a fraction too fast, I better slow that down a bit. There you go. So just check my right mirror, just make sure no one's overtaking me as I go through here. And then check my left mirror, just make sure it's safe to go back. So I'm going to fourth gear. So again, back on the cruise control, perfectly allowed to use it. As are speed limiting devices, if your car has a speed limiter, you are perfectly allowed to use that as long as it's fitted to the car as standard. Okay, so going along this road here, so we saw it's a 30 limit, still got street lighting. Looking a bit further up the road, I can see the blank upside down triangle. There's a giveaway of some sort up ahead. Also got narrow road signs. Now I can also see not my priority as I go through here, so looking for oncoming vehicles. So there is an oncoming vehicle. They look like they're quite a long way away. Just check my right mirror, make sure it's safe. And then just go through. And then we're back into a speed hump area, so I'm going to take it back off the cruise control and back to my feet on the pedals. As I go a bit further along here, the road will get very narrow as you go under the old rail bridge. So just be careful with your positioning. And
after 300 yards, bear left.
And there could be an oncoming vehicle in the middle of the road, so just be very careful around these bends. So sat-nav said bear left up ahead. You do not have to signal for the left-handed bend. Do be aware it is sharper than it looks. So we're going towards the corner.
Bear left.
So just bring it down to about 20 miles an hour. Just nice and easy round the bend. And then carry on. So I can see that van was briefly on the wrong side of the road. That's because there's an obstruction. It's on the other side. The sign says it is my priority. Just got to be careful just in case. It's about to become a national speed limit again, so I will wait until I pass the sign. I'll see if it's safe to speed up. So not the widest of roads here, so would it be safe to do the full 60? Probably not. There are drain covers on the left. If you start driving over them, that might be a sign you're getting a bit close to the curb, and trust me, you do not want to hit this curb. It will destination, so that'll be the end of the independent drive. And up the 40 limit. Sometimes you may be asked to turn into the car park here on the right to do the forward part. Just take your time as you go in because it's very narrow.
After 300 yards, you have reached your destination.
Okay, so when I get to the destination, the examiner say that's the end of the independent drive. I'll direct you as normal from now. So just wait for it. It's 100 yards away.
You have reached your destination.
Also got the 30 limit. Okay, so it's back to the examiner now. So the examiner will take over and they will say at the end of the road, at the traffic lights, turn right. 3 lanes on the approach. The middle lane goes both ways. I'm going to pick the middle lane. So just check my mirrors, give a right signal. That light has been green for a while, so I'll be ready to stop in case it changes. So just checking my mirrors. No one's behind me, but it has stayed green. I'll just stay around the outside of this corner. That'll put me straight onto the left lane in the dual carriageway. And I'm going to take the next left towards Headington Hospitals. So somewhere near the sign giving me the direction, I'll check my mirrors, give a left signal, and then just wait for that extra lane to come up. I can see a lot of signs there, so I can see there's a 30, a cycle way and a give way. So I must give way to any traffic coming in from my right here, because they could be turning off the dual carriageway. I've had a good look, I can see it's perfectly safe. Just carry on. So we're nearly back at the test centre now. So we're just going down Horsepath Driftway. Just be aware down this road because there are quite a few yellow boxes down here. So if there's traffic, make sure you're keeping the gap to the vehicle in front, because there's one there that's quite faded. There's also another one just outside the fire station, and near the fire station you've got the pedestrian crossing, so keep an eye. Is anyone going to use that crossing, and could that make you stop in a yellow box potentially? Okay, so at the mini roundabout up ahead, turn left. So having a good check. Now on the road to my right, it is a 2-lane approach, but do be careful. I have seen people turn right from the left-hand lane before, so I've got quite a few vehicles on the right waiting to turn, so I may have to stop. Also keeping an eye out on vehicles from the left, because if there's a vehicle from my left that's turning right, that might block vehicles off from that side. Gives me the opportunity to turn. Gap's big enough for me to go, so just take it nice and easy. So just one more turn in and we're back onto the test centre road. That'll be the end of the test from there. So it's a couple of 100 yards down Holloway is the test centre. When you turn from this side here back into the test centre, do be careful with your speed on the approach, because of the speed bump. It likes to throw you over to the right if you're too quick, so make sure you're doing a suitable speed for the corner. There is a lack of visibility as well, so that should be a good hint to go slowly round the corner. Okay, so next road on the left, just behind the parked van, so check my mirrors, signal left. I can't see that well into it, so I'm going to pop it into second gear, somewhere around about 10 miles an hour. Visibility is very poor as you turn into this road. There's a parked vehicle straight away because of the building works. And then you just go back down James Wolfe Road, and Oxford's Test Centre is just after these parked cars. I won't be going back in now, I'll just go slightly beyond it. So the examiner would say turn right into the test centre, just take your time because there could be someone coming in or coming out. Okay, so you go into that gate there, just park it in the bay, and then you'll get your real result. Hopefully it's a pass. Okay, so that will be all for this video here, so I hope you enjoyed it. Hopefully if you do get that test route on your driving test, you know roughly what to expect, you know, and what things to be aware of, how to deal with them. But if you're interested in doing driving lessons with me, I'll leave a link down to my Facebook page below. Just send me a message on there. I'll see what availability I have. Always leave a comment, leave a like, share with your friends. That's the most important thing. Share with your friends. Help them pass their driving test as well. Okay, there you go. So help your friends pass their driving test by sharing with them. And I wish you the best of luck on your driving test.